We just got massive details revealed about the Kevin Durant trade, and it appears that Koby Altman included Darius Garland as one of the pieces being traded to Phoenix in exchange for Kevin Durant when the Cavaliers were in the mix for Kevin Durant. Obviously, he's on to Houston, and you are on to another episode of Cavs Digest. Billy Beebe back with you, excited to talk Cavs basketball. We've already talked a lot about the Cavs' involvement with Kevin Durant. This really won't be much of a Durant talk. It'll be more of a Cavs talk because of what happened with Kevin Durant, as Kevin O'Connor of Yahoo Sports gave us some massive details about that trade. We'll jump into that. Also want to encourage you guys to subscribe. We appreciate you joining us each episode. More and more Cavs info. Really, this was just a rumor, and we're on our third video talking about this because there's so much surrounding the Cavaliers and their involvement with Kevin Durant, what that says about the team, the Darius Garland piece of it now, the Cavaliers moving forward. I mean, there's a lot to break down. Just housed a blizzard. It's ice cream season. It's summer. I'm always interested to hear from you guys. Is the blizzard the go-to ice cream-wise, right? Is that number one? Is it a waffle cone? Is it a sundae? Is it a split? I think that's a weak take. Dilly bar, Dippin' Dots. There's so many options. I'm a Blizzard guy. I think Blizzard is number one. Let me know your go-to ice cream. Rank top 5 if you want, but give me an ice cream take down in the comments below, and then, of course, leave some more your thoughts on the video. So we will hear from Kevin O'Connor on his podcast in just a second. We'll talk Garland, we'll talk Durant, and more. So, as I said, and we will listen to the clip exactly because it's not just about Garland, but about the Cavs in general. It was revealed that Darius Garland, or Kevin O'Connor, plugged in that Garland was a piece the Cavaliers were offering to try and get Kevin Durant. Now, we've had multiple videos for you. Windhurst was reporting it. The Cavs were in the mix for it. They wanted Kevin Durant. They were trying to get Kevin Durant. We'll also talk about a Windhurst report that explains why the Cavaliers ended up out of it and why, the piece of Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the 10th pick, and 5 second-rounders is what Durant went for. So let's lead off with the Kevin O'Connor video here so we can react and jump into it.
Is there a trade in the East that would make sense? Like if Evan Mobley was on the table, I'm not saying he would be on the table, but if Cleveland was
Tom, on that note, Gambadoro did say to me on the podcast earlier that the Cleveland Cavaliers were one of the sleeper teams for Kevin Durant. That at least shows they have a willingness to take big swings. I heard that they offered Garland in that deal for Kevin Durant. Garland is not Evan Mobley. But to your point, if they were to think about something like that, they're at least, when exploring a KD deal, they've at least shown a willingness to think big and go for a big star player. So maybe they would. That's all I'm adding to that.
Yeah, I mean, because if you're Giannis and you're saying, what is my best chance of winning a championship? Are you looking at Detroit? Are you looking at the Cleveland Cavaliers? Are you looking at another situation that would give you a chance to stay in the East but upgrade your supporting cast? And this is the tough thing about the NBA.
So really, really interesting stuff there from Kevin O'Connor. First things first, why didn't the trade happen, right? Garland's better than Jalen Green. The Cavs could give a few extra things. They could probably match the 5 second-rounders, I think, or I don't know. What's that all worth? I already saw, people were in disbelief that the Suns didn't want a Garland-Booker combo. Durant drove this thing. This was a Durant-driven trade once again. You can put that on his legacy. Yes, the Suns wanted him out, but he made sure that he was only going to go to Houston, and he wanted to make sure that there were plenty of players to play with. So he got it down to not only make sure the Suns weren't taking much away from the Rockets, but that he was going to the Rockets, right? So that's why this deal, I can't say how close it was. I don't think anyone can, but that's why the Rockets are the winners of the Durant sweepstakes, not the Cavaliers offering Darius Garland. I don't know. I would guess like Amani Bates or Jalen Tyson, some other throw-in picks and whatnot. Durant drove this. Durant made this happen. Durant decided, that he wanted to go to Houston, and I just think the Suns had to work after that. They're in such a bad position that they moved on. So that's kind of our final wrap up with the Kevin Durant saga. I know we've gone into it multiple videos. Most Cavs fans, it looked like from you guys in the comments, just didn't really want him. That's just how I kind of took it. That's how I landed on, and I was interested in that. Even as a Cavs fan, low key, a Garland Booker combo would be super fun to watch. Super fun to watch. So a little bit of a weird disappointment for me there, but this is such an interesting trade. And the next point, as we kind of move off the Durant aspect of all this, is the idea that Kenny Atkinson was willing to move Darius Garland, that he is a piece that if the Cavs really want to go for it, they will. And Kevin O'Connor talked about it, and he said, the Cavs are aggressive. This is a great example of the Cavaliers wanting to be aggressive. They are willing to be aggressive, to take a swing at Kevin Durant. That's one really aggressive point, and to include Darius Garland in that trade. That shows you Koby Altman is willing to deal this summer to get this team to the best it can possibly be, to really break down this roster, take a look, and say we now have 3 years of playoff experience with these guys. We've got 5 series with these guys. You have almost a 6-year history with Darius Garland. You can make decisions based on that. And it looks like Koby Altman is willing to deal Darius Garland, as again, he was willing to include him. And Kevin O'Connor, from his sources, believes Garland was a piece, probably the main piece, in a Kevin Durant trade. Once again, very interesting to me. Now, staying with the Garland point of this, does this worry you as much as it worries me that Darius Garland could take this the wrong way? Because we have a history of Darius Garland being, a little moody, a little, I don't want to say diva. Diva is not the right word, but he definitely was not happy last season. And part of that was his own fault, and part of that was the Cavs' fault and the fit. And yes, I fully believe the Cavaliers have moved past all that. But we've seen so many times in the NBA that if your name is floated in any sort of trade talks, that could really stunt a relationship with the front office, with teammates, and with the city. I see a lot of people on Twitter talking that they'd be perfectly okay with the Cavaliers getting Durant, that they'd be okay with the Cavaliers doing this trade. And yes, it's over and it's done, but it is interesting to me the amount of people willing to move on from Garland. You know my stance on it. I challenged him this season. I thought he needed to step up. I feel he did, but I will note that we are on our 2nd straight year of him being injured and our 3rd straight year of us in one way or another asking him to step up and do more. So does it worry you? That's my big question of all this after everything we've covered here today, even the Blizzard stuff. Does it worry you that Darius Garland could hear about this, might have been told about this, that he was included overall in the Kevin Durant trade sweepstakes? Are you mad? Do you not like Koby Altman considering a Garland trade? How do you guys feel about that? I'm sure we're going to hear plenty more about Garland's availability if they had him for Durant. Maybe that was their peak. Hey, Durant's the only player we would ever give up Darius Garland for, so we made that offer. Maybe you told him there's nobody else we would trade you for. Not sure on that. So do you predict Darius Garland will be upset? Could this fracture the relationship with the team, the roster, the front office? Let me know down in the comments. And one more time, your favorite ice cream, your go-to ice cream, Dippin' Dots, Blizzards, Sugar Cone, whatever it is. Let me know down in the comments, and stay tuned. Be sure to subscribe to Cavs Digest.